All right, we are on the record. Everybody hearing me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
We're here for an evidentiary hearing before the Kentucky Personnel Board. Today is October 28th, 2020. The case is Donna McNeil, appellant, versus Kentucky Infrastructure Authority appellee. My name is Mark Sipek. I'm the hearing officer. The appellant, Donna McNeil, is present and is represented by the Honorable Bernard Mazahari. The appellee, Kentucky Infrastructure Authority, is present and represented by the Honorable Matt Stevens. And Mr. Stevens, do you have an agency representative with you today?
Yes, I do. That is Commissioner Thune.
All right. All right. And the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority is also present through its agency representative, Commissioner Dennis Keene. All parties today are participating using Amazon Chime. This proceeding is being recorded by audio-video equipment and is authorized by virtue of KRS Chapter 18A. And I think we talked about this at pre-hearing conferences, but if not, I will make sure it's on the record and hear everybody this morning on this issue. As you can tell, we are communicating by video, and we're using Amazon Chime. Unfortunately, with Amazon Chime, the recording is only audio. It is not video. I am using the video equipment in this room, but it is not picking up what is on the screen. So basically, we have multiple recorders today, but they are all just going to be audio. Any parties have any questions on that, or any comments on the record regarding that issue?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
All right. And so one thing I would say, obviously, always a good idea anyways, but just keeping in mind that it is just an audio record. If you have a witness, if they're giving a response that is more that it's not verbal, that they're shaking their head, nodding their head, please try and get them to try and elicit a verbal response so we have a complete record. I'll try and catch that if I can, but it's always helpful if the attorneys pay attention to that as well. All right. Is the appellant ready to proceed this morning?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is the appellee ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm going to go over the issues for the hearing today. We've listed two issues. The appellant's claim that she was dismissed as a result of political discrimination. The appellant shall have the burden of proof on this issue, which shall be by a preponderance of the evidence. The second issue is whether or not Commissioner Dennis Keene had appointing authority to dismiss the appellant. The appellee shall have the burden of proof on this issue, which also is by a preponderance of the evidence. I believe we designated that the appellee should proceed first in the presentation of proof, and I think in the last several orders I've included the citation to the case of Rhonda Kuiper versus Labor Cabinet, and also KRS 13B.090 subsection 7. Does anybody have any questions, comments, or objections to the issues, burden of proof, or order of proof this morning?
None from the appellant.
No, Your Honor.
All right. And are we going to have separation of witnesses throughout this hearing?
Your Honor, we'll invoke the rule of sequestration.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Our other witness is separated, but we intend on calling Commissioner Keene as a witness, but he is going to remain in the room as agency representative.
Okay. I think you're entitled to an agency representative, just as I think Ms. McNeil is entitled to be present throughout the proceedings. So that's how we'll proceed. The other witnesses will just be present when they testify, and when their testimony is completed, I'll ask them to leave the room and then also admonish them not to discuss their testimony with anyone else. Everyone okay with following that procedure?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Are there any pre-hearing motions? Anything else that we need to discuss today that before we get started?
None from the appellant.
No, Your Honor.
All right. All right. We designated the appellee to go first. Mr. Stevens, do you wish to make an opening statement, or do you want to go just first to your first witness?
Yes, just a brief opening statement, to be honest.
All right, go ahead.
Again, my name's Nick Stevens. I'm General Counsel for the Department for Local Government, or DLG, and I'm appearing as counsel for the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority, known as KIA. KIA today was shown by ponderance of the evidence that DLG Commissioner Dennis King had appointing authority to dismiss the appellant and rebut the allegation that appellant that dismissed as a result of political discrimination. And I believe KIA tells our first witness, Mary Elizabeth Davis.
Okay. Before we get to her, let me turn to Mr. Mazahari and ask if would you like to make an opening statement on behalf of the appellant at this time?
Yes, Your Honor. I'll make a brief one, just like Mr. Stevens. This is a situation where the current administration has not held up its responsibility to follow the rule of law. Commissioner Keene was not even the chairman of the KIA on December 20th, 2019, when he terminated, without any authority, Ms. McNeil. We have reviewed every single minutes since then, and the KIA board still has not removed Ms. McNeil. In reviewing the file and reviewing the KIA's motion to dismiss, it indicated just the one-page reference to the February 2017 board meetings of the KIA, suggesting that the previous government had not followed the rule of law either by not having the board appoint Donna McNeil. And in the order in July by the board, it indicated that that was going to be a factual issue. Once we reviewed the entire board meetings from February of 2017, and we've attached that as one of our OSU exhibits, it was clearly done that the KIA appointed Donna McNeil. It is also our belief, after going through all of these reviews, that the individual that Commissioner Keene appointed, Edith Hadley, was also not ever appointed by the KIA board. And the statutes that we're reviewing about what the authority of the board is, it's very simple. There's 11 board members. No one questions that the board can retain an executive director. And by retaining that, that's implicit that they can remove an executive director. The other aspect that is clear is that you need to have at least 6 members of the KIA board to act. There's never been any action by the KIA board to remove Donna McNeil. And despite the fact that they were put on written notice in January via letter articulating all of Donna McNeil's reasons, there's no excuse for no action. So that believes that the letter of Commissioner Keene and the action of the KIA not to pay Donna McNeil from late December, early January to present is void. And that is what we believe has happened. As far as the issue of political aspects, I believe that it's undisputed that Edith Hadley donated $4,000 to Haiti this year, and Ms. McNeil made no donations. And